Everybody, before we get into tonight's update, I want to give you a quick overview of what to expect. As you can see right there, XRP goes across the screen at 0.3762. Bitcoin is up about 27 points since the flip at 23,174. The Dow futures right now is down 82, S&P down 1450, and the NASDAQ is down 63. So that's what we're looking at right now as far as the futures market and Bitcoin and XRP. XRP remains under 38 cents, even though once again today we tried to make a push over, but we just have no stronger, wider support here for XRP, and the bears continue to keep it below 38 cents. We continue to watch that S1 of 0.377 as if we remain below that and get a rejection. That could push us down to the 368 or even the 362 level before we can figure out where we go next. We continue to be in a falling channel. We'll continue to discuss the support in the falling channel and the resistance. And we'll also take a look at the DXY as it hovers around the 105 level now at 104.958 approximately at the time of recording. So we need to look at all of this and more when we get into the charts. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. And yes, I did get new glasses. They came in today as I had my eye appointment last week. As some of you know, I have keratoconus. I can't see except for a blur in this eye. But my right eye, I got to get it upgraded every year and a half. So I can see a lot better and I feel really good about it. So I appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure to hit that like button before I play the intro, or during the intro, before I get back and talk to you. Thank you, everybody. Good evening, 7:18 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Tuesday, February 28th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So, when we look at the charts here, first thing we need to look at is the DXY sitting at about 104.954. As you can see, though, the Dow ended down 232 points today, and the S&P was down 10.88, closing at about 3,954.66. Below the 4,000 critical level. That's a major level. If you're below 4,000, I mean, that's a disaster waiting to happen. But we have to see exactly what's going on in all these markets, see how far the manipulation will push. So the DXY at 104.954. As we talked about earlier, and I want to refresh everybody, so in the 30-minute time frame, what we're looking for here is we had an ascending formation. We had the rising support, the ascending support, uptrending support, slightly uptrending resistance as well. They were both ascending. Figure that's an ascending triangle if we're just trying to break it down to some basic terminology. I'm not saying that this is the correct terminology or nothing like that. I'm just saying my eyes are telling me that we're in an ascending triangle pattern, and that's my interpretation of what I'm seeing. And since you're watching me, you have to see my interpretation. Whether you agree or not, that's your prerogative. So we knew we had to come back down here and try to hold the 104.55. We came all the way down to 104.20 on an overzealous candle wick here. But we pulled back up very quickly. And now we're pushing up. And now our next level we're going to be looking at is around the 105.303. That's where we're going to know, is this going to be a double top? Or are we going to reverse back down, right, and hit a double top? Or can we finally get over 105.30 and then ultimately push up to that 106.20 that we think is going to happen? But obviously, we can't ever know confluently until it does. I just don't believe the U.S. government is ready to let the U.S. dollar die. Therefore, they're going to use manipulation to keep it moving. And that's what we've been experiencing here the last several weeks. Even though it did go down to about 100 spot, 5.5 range, 7.8, somewhere around there. We never broke through the 100 spot 3.2 approximately, where I think if we break that, that's when you could have a big capitulation down. Total crypto market cap is down to 1.017 trillion. It's up 0.16% since 7 o'clock, but it was down a little bit on the day. We pulled down, and now it looks like a topping reversal could have happened. And if this bear flag is to play out on this side now, we've already got one here that we couldn't bust out of. If this bear flag plays here, this will bring us down pretty easily to that 990 billion, and that's what we've been waiting for. So we're going to see, because we did fail to get over the 1.049 trillion, and that doesn't come without implications. If we can't get over there in a quick and swift motion, we're going to come down to that 990 billion and have to figure this out from there. Now, if we're looking at XRP, that's a whole nother story. XRP's at 0.3757, down 0.13% since 7 o'clock. It was stagnant all day. It's been very stagnant. It's still on this, what looks like a bear flag in the shorter time frames. Still hasn't broke out past 0.3860. We still haven't got a rejection there either. But what we have done is we failed to get over the 382, which is another resistance level. That's right in between. It's the 382 and 386. I just don't have the 382 up there because I want to see if we can break the 386, and it starts to just get overzealous with lines. So right now it's the 377. Well, we're looking to see if we can use that as support, or if we're going to finally verify that as resistance somewhere down here, so that we can finally push down to the next level at 362, and then we can even push down to the even farther level, which to me, I think we're waiting for, and it even shows here in the X marks the spot, I think we're waiting for 347 approximately. That's the bottom of the falling channel, and that's assuming we can't get out of the resistance on the falling channel, which is still up here. It maintains around, if it happens tomorrow, it would be around 3946, so the 395 level. So that's what we're looking at, and that, to me, we diagnosed it very early on. And, you know, I take my criticism. A lot of people like to criticize because we got a lot of backseat, what I like to call the backseat drivers, or the bobs, you know, the bobs in the audience. Well, Tom, you know, I take great offense to that. Bob, I knew right when I said your name something was going on. My screen disappeared. Well, Tom, what do you mean they're like Bob? Well, don't you comment a lot, Bob, and you say I'm not saying something even though I am, and you would listen to me, but you won't because you're listening to all the people on YouTube that you know, that fits your narrative. Well, you son of a bitch, I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but I'm just coming here. Bob, I'm not trying to offend you. I'm just saying, you're the one who always comes out here and says that you can't figure things out because it's not straightforward. Well, that's true, Tom. So what the hell are you getting mad at me for, Bob? Well, Tom, you know, I wish I could just come on and I would know exactly where to buy and sell. So if you guys haven't noticed, if you're new, Bob is the every man and woman who likes to put its 2 cents in, or hers, but doesn't understand the technical analysis, but still insists on knowing exactly what's going to happen next. Well, Tom, you know, that's very generous of you. I do feel like I know what's going to happen next. I swear to God, this guy is going to give me a... Bob, can I at least get going? Well, Tom, you know, just keep it a little easier to understand. What's that supposed to mean, Bob? Well, Tom, if I didn't know any better, you know, I could say this isn't a descending triangle or a falling channel. Yeah, I bet you can, Bob. We could say it's in a whole bunch, but what time frames are we talking about? Well, Tom, I'm just going to let you do your... Jesus fucking Christ. All right, so... Don't mind Bob. He just comes and goes as he pleases. So, the falling channel... Hold on, let me get this drawing tool out. So, we've got, on the resistance right here, we got resistance 1 on the falling channel on January 23rd. We hit it again right here the second time. You could say, sorry, I overcrossed it, but the second time was right here on February 3rd. Third time in here on about February 18th. Whoops, right here. Hold on, let me move this down, sorry. Just so we can see this a little bit easier. And Bob got us all off topic. So anyhow, first hit right here, January 23rd. Second hit right here on February 4th. Third hit right here on resistance about February 20th. We had first hit of support right here about January 23rd. Second hit around January 30th. Third hit around February 10th. Fourth hit around February 15th. So basically what I'm saying here is this falling channel looks to be confirmed. It's had 3 hits on both sides, which is how you confirm the pattern. Support, resistance, support, resistance, support, support, resistance. Or you can say we're resistance, support, support, resistance, support, support, resistance. Now we're just fading through. So now it's like, do we come back down here and retest it? And if we do, it's going to be around that 347 level. And that's the importance of that X marks the spot. So that's the falling channel that I feel like we're in. And we're not going anywhere. We got this downtrending resistance, a falling support. And it just hasn't gone anywhere. And the other thing that we have to pay attention to in this area is we do have a cup and handle that comes around. And like, if you're asking me right now, the fact that we pushed down from that 432 double top resistance, when we finish this handle right here, this cup, this looks like it's failing and it's going to reject. But we won't know that, and this is just me saying, we won't know if this fully rejects until not only we break that 347, but if we look at our other pattern, it'll be a lot easier for me to show you. So on the USD chart, this is where the bottom is. We need to come down here, and this is the all-time pattern. I'll show you what I mean by that. So you got about we're going to 337 if we end somewhere by, end of, well, this is the end of February, but beginning of March, 337 if it were to fall down there. So basically that would be not much more movement, but we come down here. So what it is we're in a bigger descending triangle here in the grand pattern. This goes back pretty far, but the uptrend goes back to 2020 and about May. The downtrending resistance goes back to about mid-2022. But we're trapped in here right now. This is the pattern using the uptrend from 2020 and the pattern resistance formed on this bear flag. We basically have a top end resistance that gets you up to about 40 cents, a little bit higher. If you get to the very top, you can get up to, I believe it's 44 cents. Once you break this short term area, yeah, it's about 44 cents. But underneath is the important part right now, which is about 337. That's the 2020 uptrend. If you break that, then we can start talking, because then the 2017 uptrend brings you all the way down to about 18.8. It's at 19 cents if you get there on April 1st of 2023. So, and that hasn't changed. These are the all-time patterns, and I'll show you what that means in a sec. And then you come down here, and if you break that, now you've got the uptrend going all the way back, and this is the all-time uptrend. This goes back to 2013. So, if we start talking about all these uptrends, this is what we have to start talking about. And then if we take it out into the grand pattern, these are the grand patterns. So, this is it. We can talk all we want, but these patterns, they go back, and there's no reason to do the downtrending resistance all the way. We can. We absolutely can, but you'll see if we take this into the weekly, it's actually lined up better than it looks because it just becomes off-centered, because I don't use the magnet because I don't like it. I'd rather my pattern just look normal and flow normally when I do it like this. Sure, I could put it to where everything lines up on its own. So that's what I got for you. Pay attention to this. If you got anything out of this, hit that like button. Make sure if you want to join Tom's Army or join me on BitGet and or MEXC, there's no spot fees on the buy and sell, and you can buy XRP in the USA. That's in the video description below and the pinned message below. Stay blessed, everybody, and remember, hashtag be better, do better.